Hey folks, welcome to Maverick Gunworks channel. This time we're going to talk about a Beretta 92 Compact L version. All right, it's made in Italy. This is the subject we're talking about today. You can see we have no ammo in the chamber. All right, and we'll quickly go over a little review of what you would do to clean the firearm. Pull our magazine out. We would typically come in here with a solvent patch and run through the barrel. And easy to take this thing down while we got the magazine out to clean it more in depth. We'll pull the slide down. We can push a little button on the side right there. All right, push that in. Rotate this lever down, releases our slide. Okay, now we can pull the slide out. Take our spring out. A little push up on the barrel. Get our barrel to come loose. Well, if I hold my mouth just right, the barrel will come out. Here we go. Okay, so you have another feature, I guess you say, about this firearm. We have a locking block on the barrel that locks it in position. And now, since we've got it field stripped like that, we would put some solvent in here along the tracks, on your slide, on the face of the bolt. Let it sit for a few minutes along with our barrel, and then follow that up with a clean dry patch to wipe out all the gunk that's built up. And then finally come back with a couple of drops of lubricant on your tracks and any mechanical surfaces that will be friction. So we can wipe that off and leave a slightly oily film, nothing puddled up, just so we don't attract dirt on it. Same thing with our receiver. All right, we're going to come in here and clean out the slots on our slide and re-lubricate those. You may want to take a little compressed air and blow out from the inside here in your trigger mechanism, and also on the hammer and sear section. Flush that out with some solvent. Cock your hammer back, you can spray it down in here, and then blow that out good with the air and a couple drops of oil after the fact. Make sure you keep it lubricated. That should do you. You can put it back together. All right, we'll stick it back together, and then we'll go talk to you a little bit more about the gun itself, the history behind it. And this is being the compact version, is a baby brother to the original Beretta 92. It was designed in 1972, and actually I think they started production around 1976. In the military version, the big brother to this one, replaced the 1911 .45 caliber from the military in about 1985. That would have been the M9 version, what the military calls it, and this will be the smaller version of it, the compact L here. Knowing just a little bit more about that one, the Beretta folks around the year 2000 started putting some different components or different materials in the guns to make them a little bit lighter for the public to use. Such things as the trigger here. The trigger now is either polymer or a polymer coated metal. I think in this case this is a polymer or plastic trigger. Things like the control, certain controls are plastic now where they used to be metal. This control for your mag release. Things as simple as the plate on the bottom of the magazine. Also the magazine follower now is plastic, where originally they were metal. So now it's plastic here. Saves a little bit of weight here and there, kind of thing. Anyway, features of this gun. A little bit further here. You saw how easy it was to take it apart. We have a ambidextrous safety on here, so you got a safety on both sides. So you have a red dot for fire position on both sides there. This gun also has an ambi slide release. The magazine release actually is on both sides. The way it's cut out in the frame, you can easily switch your mag release from one side to the other for left-handed users. All right. And if we'll look at the operation of it with our hammer cock, okay, put it back in the fire mode, manually cock our hammer, which is this a single and double action semi-automatic. If we cock our hammer, and for whatever reason we do not want to fire the gun, this is a decocker. I'll pull our safety lever down, and it will decock the gun without firing it, because you have a block inside that keeps the hammer from hitting your striker. All right. And then we'll show you that we have take the safety back off again. We have a single action, so we'll cock the hammer and release it. And we also, once the gun's fired, the hammer will stay back and you can shoot it it's a single action with a typical semi operation. All right, and let's do a trigger pull test and see what we end up with on this version here. All right, we'll go ahead and we're going to cock it and do our single action first. What is our minimal trigger pull? And daggone it, this thing's a little more effort than I expected. But anyway, we've got 4.5 pounds on single action. Okay, and let's go ahead and we'll leave it right there. We're going to go ahead and pull it on double action and see what happens. I expect it's going to be considerably more, since that was good gracious. And we're cocking the hammer, and we've pegged out our gauge roughly about 9.5 to 10 pound trigger pull. Looks like on double action. So it is fairly smooth action as I grip it and pull the trigger myself. It's just a very long trigger pull, and you would expect that from a military kind of firearm. Long, consistent. There's no stacking on the spring. Actually, the way I feel it's pretty much consistent all the way through the trigger pull. And as I pull it for a single action, got the hammer cocked, we have, you see a little bit of, well, that's a good bit actually, of pre-travel here before it engages. And then once it touches the trigger touches the steel rather, you've got little movement to make the gun fire. So we've got a lot of pre-travel here. So you watch it there, and then a little tug, 4.5 pounds, and it fires. So that's doable, especially for a concealed carry gun. It will be a good option. You have a pretty good capacity too, actually, in this being a compact model 92, but it still is a double stack, fairly thick grip, a good handful for somebody that has a good sized hand. A small-handed person might not be comfortable with the gun like this, but we have a 13-round magazine here, so you've got 13 plus 1 in the chamber. Would be safe to carry that way, especially with your hammer down. Wouldn't be a problem. And because you have a blocker inside, as long as the safety is on, then it's not going to fire. Okay. Anyway, hope that gives you some good information, tidbits about the Beretta 92 Compact here. And if there's something else that we can help you with as far as Maverick Gun Works goes, let us know. We'll do what we can to dig one up and talk about it for you. Thanks for watching us.